Good morning, team. There's seriously no way. There's no way that Terrell May is human. The work that he can get through. Yesterday in Sydney was mid 30s, high 30s. It's kind of during the early afternoon. It cooled down, 1 or 2 degrees. And Terrell May went 64 minutes straight, obviously with the halftime break. But a lot of the time when you sit down, it's actually a little bit worse. And you come out and you're like, I've had my rest, so it should be okay. But to go 64 straight, 43 tackles, 4 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, 176 metres, had the 1 missed tackle, a few 6 agains in there, but for him to go back-to-back, 73, 76 is absolutely incredible in fantasy. We knew that it would be pretty good, and we knew that his PPM was incredible. His PPM isn't as good as Payne Haas right now, but it's very much on that level, and he's a terrific candidacy for your captaincy each and every week right now, and you should definitely consider it. The way that the Panthers are playing right now, it's not perfect. So Cleary as captain hasn't been the best option right now. It is Payne Haas and it is Terrell May that are leading from the front, that's for sure. And congrats to the Tigers, a 32-6 winning score against the Eels, who look very, very poor and are very much a target team right now, which I spoke about in yesterday's 5 Things I Learnt video. There are 6 teams that you should be targeting. You should be happy that your team comes up against. From an attacking standpoint, if you're looking for tackle breaks, for offloads, for attacking stats, then Eels are one of those teams. And shout out to Bulldogs next week. Yeah, which was great when I did own Matt Burton in my side for a lovely outing next week. But the injury has stopped that one. In terms of injuries from this game, I believe it was fairly low on that front. We did have stuff at Toa off early. I do personally think that was due to him, having that injury last week with the calf, and he had a really good game, and they were up, by 32 points. There was no need, in my opinion, for them to keep him on. I haven't heard anything else from that. He looked absolutely incredible, and we'll get to that in a second. But Taruva with 65 out there. Has Terrell May gone up? I can't believe Terrell's still 42% owned. Come on, guys. Sort it out. I think everyone who's watching this has to own him. Taruva 65. Well done to him. Great game. 3 tries. Won't happen every week. Galvin 64 with the try and 2 try assists. Played a lot better. Happy for the Tigers to come away with this really nice victory as well. A few people would have started with Galv, and you definitely were rewarded this week with the 64 and the 57 average across the 2. And looks like he's going to be involved in plenty. And Jerome Luai was actually in less. So kind of just more directed them around the park. And Galvin was, as he does, gets his hand on the ball plenty. And didn't have an offload this game, which is pretty wild for Galvy. Zach Lomax, 59 for him, 8 tackle breaks, 5 offloads. So again, it's the tackle break offload type of player that's working out perfectly at this stage. Not someone you want to target at all, with the Eels being really poor. And that's a worry with a few of these guys. And obviously Hopgood with a 54 in 64 minutes was a good effort there. 46 tackles for him. 3 turnover tackles in that first half. So they, as a team, played really poor. He had a bunch of negatives there. 3 missed tackles, 3 errors, a penalty as well for neg 14. But that 3 turnover tackles, just hitting under the ball, really helped. And that was a lot of the Tigers' errors early on was through a Hopgood tackle. So there you go. But 54 for him. Good minutes again. The score, a little bit frustrating, and some people will be like, I'll trade him to Payne Haas. Look, you can, but surely the Eels can improve a little bit. There has to be some type of improvement, and Hopgood, the attacking stats will come a little bit. He had one tackle break there, no offloads. For him to still get 54 in that type of game is pretty good. Similar to last week, for him to get the 47 in a really tough game for the Eels, I think is a testament to his quality. If you do want to upgrade to like a Payne Haas, that's probably the only way I'd go. If you were really just done with Hopgood and you think that he's not going to hit the heights of the mid-50s, then that could be where you go. I'm seeing people floating that idea, and I personally would suggest holding. But I understand if you are looking to go to a Payne Haas in that one. Jack Williams, 51. in 75 minutes. A pretty solid effort there, along with Adam Dewey, who picked up 50, did keep the goals with Api Coruscant, and I think he deserves it. He was banging him from the sidelines again. A try assist, 2 line breaks for him, good run meters, and he's going to have nice games when the team plays well. And they do have 2 more nice matchups, which is great, and he should score pretty well across the next few weeks. And you see there a 46.5 average across the 2. It's a really nice start with that 43 into the 50. At that price point, you're doing a good job. I think it'll go well over the next few weeks, but that's probably the last chance that you could buy him would be this week coming up, given I think he'll go up a little bit more. And when he's over 500k in the centres, yes, goal kicking, but with the Tigers, it's probably not the play you want to make following the next 2 weeks. He's going to go up 15 or 20k. He'll be just under 500k. Last chance if you want to get him at this point, because I think he'll go up. Twiling, 48 minutes for him. Seems somewhere around stock standard, 48, 51, 52. That's kind of where he's been at that last couple of weeks. And PPM's awesome again. 49, you got a 50.5 average, priced at the 540, which sits him in the just under 40 range, which is great. So you're getting 10 points of value for Twile if you started with him. Happy days there. Not buying from here on, but if you own, awesome. Great score again. Skelton with 49 with the try and line break. Another pretty decent score, closer to the 50, which was great for him. We'll get his price starting to move in the forward direction after losing $1,000 last week. So Skelto, solid game. Should be somewhere in that mid-40s on a pretty regular basis, especially over the next few weeks. So a great guy to own, especially in Supercoach, I think, over the next 2 when they have the easier matchups. Please make sure you look to subscribe and follow along, guys, and go back and check out the videos that we've had for over the weekend. Go through all of the players in detail. As you can see, yesterday's video is 47 minutes, so love if you could jump in there and get around that. That really helps support me, and it gives you a great little footing into how your round 3 is going to go. There's heaps of different options this week. I think it's going to be chaos in terms of trades and who people are looking to get into their side. So get around the content. I appreciate it, and it will help you out heading into this week with your trades. Samuel Afenu with 43, along with Pole with the 44. But Seyfarth the 42 in this one. He did have his 40 tackles, played the full 80. Somewhere about what we expected. Had the one offload. 4 misses and a penalty. It's a little bit high on the negatives for my thoughts, but he did. He had no tackle breaks as well. Good to see him get 83 run meters, so that pushes him in the right direction, which is good. At 466k to get a 42, you are making money on that, or pushing him back in the direction to make some money over the next few weeks. So that was ideal. Turns out selling him over Metcalf was the play, but it wasn't bad, and we can easily expect the early 40s for Seyfarth over the next few weeks, and we'll see what happens. If you want to use him as a trade, as some trade bait, as some a guy that you want to use in your up and down trade, then I do understand that, but also having your thoughts that he should get in the 40s pretty regularly, and at 466k with the dual, with no buys coming up and a pretty decent draw over the next couple. Is that a guy that you just want to stick in your side and hold? Probably. Samrani. He had a line break, 7 missed tackles, seven tackle breaks, and a 194 run meters. So great work for Samrani on that one for his first game. We've heard his name in a bit, so it's good to see him out there. And I think the commentators said they reckon he looked a bit like a Karaz clone. So there you go. It's a pretty nice comparison for him. Dill Brown, 35. Ugh, it wasn't nice. Wasn't a nice game for him. Did pick up a line break in there. But yeah, 96 run meters, low kick meters, 18 tackles. Meh. Just not much of a great game for him, to be honest. And the team's just, got nothing for him. Penasini, he's trying his best. Picked up a line break, a try assist in there, a line break assist. 33. So following on from his 45 last week, only a 33, which is definitely going to happen in a team where you're getting smacked. Dream Buller looked good in his return. Same with Appy. It's good to see them back, doing good stuff. Only 58 minutes for Appy in this one as well. So getting him back slowly. As I said, I don't think he'll end up with the goal kicking again. with Dewey striking him so well. But Luai, 31 for him in 80 minutes, 302 kick meters, a little bit of running only, 39 run meters, 18 tackles for Luai. So yeah, pretty stock standard game without any attacking stats, which is wild for them to win. 30. They were 32-0 with a minute to go, and he doesn't have an attacking stat. I think it probably bodes well for this side that he's working his way into this team and hopefully getting better and better, and putting him in the team in a position to win, with him not being the I have to do everything, which I suppose is more Galvin and the way he plays. Jack Bird, if you held on to him, it was only 32 minutes this time, which would have been frustrating for owners. Thankfully, he scored better than last week in way less minutes. So if you held on at 360 with a 30, there were cheapies this week that did really poorly. So the 30 isn't too bad at all. What you do long term, I think with those minutes, he's definitely a sell. But do you have to do it this week? No, not a rush. Someone we're obviously finding interesting, and I mentioned that I think he'd be a good person to buy in round 3 or 4. If we saw the minutes again, it was Riley Smith, and we definitely saw the minutes again. It was basically only in tackles, 33 tackles, 13 run meters to get his 30, but he's going to be around that 240 mark, and that's a really good price for someone that's getting 55 minutes who we know has talent. Even with the team being absolutely terrible, if he can get in the 30s in 55 minutes, which we should expect going forward, the more games he plays, hopefully Eels get a little bit better. He should be able to get in there and he'll make plenty of cash pretty comfortably. So he's definitely a target as a downgrade option this week, and will be interesting for sure. What about Katoga playing 60 minutes out there? There you go. Sean Russell. Who did we lose anyway? Who was it? Tavidi, Yongi, Sean Lane played 60 minutes. Yeah, he just came on early and didn't come off. So that worked out well for him. For Katoga, but he didn't obviously score super well with 24 along with Coruscant. He had Volkman with 23. Brendan Hands is getting 25 minutes, so it's one stint, 2 weeks in a row. Royce Hunt, 18 in 31 minutes. The PPM is gross. God, he's just probably sitting there for right now. And then he had Yongi. He did have a try saver in there. He had 4 missed tackles at the back when they're just, unfortunately, when you're the last line defense in a team that's really poor, it's just not going to work out. But 129 run meters. Of course, he was 140 and they dropped it back 11. So he misses out on 2 points. But 2 tackle breaks. He did a couple of good things there. I think he had a kick defusal and then a tackle break after that one play and a couple of good runs. But it's really not going to happen for these types of guys that aren't going to be your straight up work rate guys when, Tigers are making so much. They're making 70 meters up the field. He's not going to have those kick returns. He's not going to be there in attack because they're hardly in that 20. So it's just a rough situation for Yongi right now. And definitely we should be considering not playing him against most teams in our sides, more for the fact that it's pretty gross out there for the Eels right now. And there's other guys that are safer. We saw guys like Stafford Toa come out and have a absolutely cracking game, which I actually skipped over him, didn't I? Yeah, like briefly mentioned him. He's in my team and I've skipped over him. Sorry for that. But Stafford didn't go through his... Yeah, actually, I talked about his minutes, but not his points. But a try assist with the line break, and the line break assist was spectacular for him. 19 tackles, 8 tackle breaks, and 129 meters. So still had 10 in negatives there, which shows that he's got that talent. And we've seen that from him, and that's why I was interested in starting with him at 250k. So if you got around him, happy days. And if you didn't, I think that a few people will be targeting him next week with a couple of nice matchups to come. So that's Stafford, not too much else to say on the great man. Very happy with that one. And then the Doggies and the Titans. So there's a few guys to mention here. Not too many from the Dogs, but obviously a bunch from the Titans. And Tino for Malawi. 75 for him in 54 minutes. He was involved in everything. He was tackling anything that moved. He did miss a bunch, obviously. It's going to happen when he's diving at legs. He's doing everything to try and help this side and help his side. Got that try close to the line, which anytime they get an opportunity with a bit of momentum, he's so hard to stop. And that's what Payne asked him to do. Imagine Payne started doing that. Oh, that'd be death. 7 tackle breaks, 2 offloads, 122 meters. So he had 51 in base before negatives, which is great. He's going to have tackle breaks. He's going to have offloads. And If he plays like this, there's going to be games where he gets more than 150 metres and gets more offloads, potentially more tackle breaks. He'll be great. So at 700k, he's definitely an option. Would have hoped that he'd be a little bit cheaper, but he's not, and he's someone that you can consider for sure. Bo Fermor, 69 for him in a really good clash for him on that left-hand side, playing on Brimson's side. He had 3 offloads, a couple of turnover tackles, just the one missed tackle was great. Try assist to AKP, and good run meters at 128. This is the kind of games we do expect from Bo Fermor. He has the attack in him. He has the defense in him as well, and great to see him use his offloaders also. If you did start with him as a looper, you would have been very, very pleased with the 69 at the dual position and priced a tick under 50 there at 49. Great work, potential option for sure. They're the 2 guys that stand out from this game clearly as looking good and not being affected by how the Titans play. There's a lot of other plays in here that are affected by how the Titans play. Reed Marnie, of course, comes out with a try and a try assist. Shout out to my good friend Richard, who did start with him and then I think sold after that shocking 20 in round 1. So he didn't get 70 for you, mate, but he got 59. Salmon got 59 as well. He's way too involved. For people that own like Preston, it's like, why is Salmon feel like he's running the ball at all times? Ended up scoring a try, which was pretty lackluster defense, that's for sure. Kings, 58 and 50 minutes. Of course, he had that try saver on my boy Brimson. That hurt my soul. Kick out 57. He looked great. And unfortunately for him and Burton, it looks like 4 to 6 weeks on the sideline with MCL type injuries, grade 2/3 for kick out. Maybe slightly worse than what Burton's was. He looked great all the way until that 73rd minute where he got injured. Preston with 55 with that little try. 4 missed tackles pretty early on too, and a penalty. 38 tackles, just low on that front. Hey, it's wild how that's working, but there was 60 odd points in the game and only got 94 meters. So not great for Preston. I own him in Supercoach, so I'm following very closely. You'll take the 55 priced at near 51, but you are hoping for more tackles. You're hoping for more base stats, which just isn't happening as much on that right hand side, and he is missing a few, which is hurting for sure. Curran with 39 minutes for 50 with a try. That try there, just a tap off the restart for him to just carry them over, and they had no idea where the goal line was absolutely terrible. Jaden Campbell, 44 for him with the 4 goals. He had a mixed game. I was just saying in last night's video, it was so all over the shop the way they were playing. Like, yes, he had plenty of kick meters at 399, which is awesome. Sexton had the 403 as well when he had to take over. And the interesting thing with the Dogs is going to be who's going to play left edge and who's going to play 6. We'll find out over the next few days. But Jaden Campbell with 44, 4 goals, good defensive numbers. In the end, he had a couple of misses early and then really improved from that. But 18 made for him, 69 run meters. Only he had two offloads to ground. He had one. Oh, they gave it to ground in the end, not to hand. Okay, I was blown off about that. I thought he passed on the full, but they gave him to ground. There you go. 44, priced over 50. He can't, as a team, and him can't play too much worse. So I think that for him to sneak away with 44, they are going to put points on. They're that type of team, so he will get goals. He'll get attacking stats soon, and he'll get more run meters. He'll get more tackle breaks, more offloads. Things will happen for him. Hold steady. He'll be fine. All right, got a few to go. Got to get off to work. Keeney, he had a try saver. He had a line break, a big one at that, and a try assist. So if he didn't have that, he would have got mid to high teens, which wasn't ideal. If you do own him, hope for a better game next week. Of course, the player I owned had the lowest score of the lot. Tupanua, back to some normalcy, 33 for him. Yeah, just hold on to Keeney. Cleese Haas played 67 minutes and David Fafita played like 31. Wild. But then you look at Fafita playing and he was slow as anything. And like he'd pick it up all up from dummy half and it'd be, here you go. And he was slow as. So yeah, I understand why he's playing less minutes. But Brimson, 26 for him. He started incredibly. He'll get up to 15 in like 7 minutes and had that line break, had a bunch of tackle breaks there. And I swear, the frustrating thing with these missed tackles is a lot of time he he kind of like goes into the tackle and then just rolls back into the defensive line, or he doesn't finish off the tackle. Like he's in there, helps out a little bit, and then pisses off back to the defensive line. And there's a few he kind of got bounced back a little bit. It wasn't like he missed the tackle. He made the first contact, fell off it, and the next guy jumped straight on. So like the guy never really got away, but they give a missed tackle for it, and that was hurting. For him to go 20-1, and a lot of the time him at 6, he goes 20-1, 22, 20-3. Didn't have 7 in this game, really hurt. The clunkiness, he had no early ball. He looked actually fairly tired at points in that second half, and with the heat as well. So it was a shocker on that one. He picked up 178 run meters, which is fine. I hope for about 210, a couple extra points, 73 run meters. We need more from him. We need less negatives. He had negative 18, which is really gross. So 44 he actually scored. So there's definitely going to be points there for him, but how many is going to be the question. For only 26, I'll give him another crack next week. They've got a fairly nice run coming up. It's not going to be crazy. There are going to be points. The left-hand side looks nice with Fermor, Kelly, AKP. I think there'll be points down there, but it bypassed him last night, apart from that one run. And that was that. And if you do own Fafita, I think you have to sell him. He's an easy one. Has to go to Payne Haas. There's no doubt about it. You should have started with Payne or Hopgood, any of those guys instead of Fafita. He was playing off the bench in the trials as well. I didn't think it'd be 30 minutes, but it was. And there you go. Regan Campbell-Gillard, 13 points. Pretty low on that one. Brock Gray, shout out to him for his debut as well. And Bailey Hayward, 16 and 40. He's going to keep going down. And Randall will keep losing cash with him. And Burton needs to be a sell, given he's out for a month. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in for this review of the last 2 games. We will see you in the next bunch of videos going through round results and everything like that. See you guys. Thank you for being here.